All right, strap yourselves in, because today we're going deep into the world of Jordan Belfort
Ooh.
and his crazy memoir, The Wolf of Wall Street.
This one's going to be good.
Yeah. This book, it's got a kind of controversial rep, you know?
Little bit.
3.73 stars on Goodreads.
Wow.
Almost 36,000 ratings.
That's a lot.
So, you know, it's a story that gets people talking.
It definitely is captivating, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What I think is really interesting is
Yeah.
Belfort's story, it kind of goes beyond just Wall Street excess, you know?
Right.
It's like it really digs into ambition and greed.
Oh, yeah.
And that whole allure of the American dream, which
Yeah.
I think everyone kind of, relates to on some level.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack in this deep dive.
Let's get into it.
Give you the key insights from the book.
Yeah.
So you don't have to read all 400 plus pages.
You don't need to do that.
So to start things off, let's go back to Belfort's early days.
Okay.
This guy was not a trust fund kid. Okay.
I've heard from it.
This guy had hustle, like
From day one.
from day one,
Yeah.
like from the get-go.
Absolutely. Even as a kid, like he had that entrepreneurial spirit,
Right.
this snow shoveling business, clearing driveways after blizzards,
Right.
$20 a pop back then.
Wow. Good money.
Yeah. And then, selling Italian ice on the beach in the summer.
Right.
This guy knew how to spot an opportunity and go after it.
He was born for it.
Seems like it.
Almost makes you wonder if, if that drive was setting him up for Wall Street. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking of which, his parents wanted him to be a dentist.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine Jordan Belfort with a drill in his hand
Yeah.
saying open wide?
It's hard to picture.
A wild thought, right?
Total 180 from what we know.
Right, but it makes you think about how different his path could have been.
Oh, for sure.
And there's this scene in the book
Yeah.
where he's at his first day of dental school,
Oh, I remember this.
bright-eyed, bushy-tailed,
Totally.
and the dean gives this speech
Yeah.
that changes everything.
Big time.
Oh, I remember that part.
Yeah.
The dean basically says the golden age of dentistry is over.
Yep, over.
If you're in it for the money, walk out the door right now.
Pretty blunt.
And what does Belfort do?
What does he do?
He takes the dean's advice.
Literally.
Literally walks out the door that day.
Wow.
Drops out.
What a move.
Talk about decisive,
Yeah.
but also impulsive.
Right.
I mean, this wasn't some rebellious phase.
No.
This was Belfort, laser focused on getting rich.
Like fast track to
Fast,
victory.
which leads him to Wall Street.
Here we go.
But he doesn't land some fancy job at a big name firm.
No.
No, he ends up smack dab in the world of penny stocks.
Penny stocks.
You know, those
the risky ones.
super cheap, high risk stocks.
Most people wouldn't touch those.
Most people wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is where things get a little murky.
Ooh, how so?
Penny stocks, while technically legal, are incredibly risky,
Oh, yeah. Especially for new investors.
especially for inexperienced investors.
Right.
And Belfort knew this.
Oh, he knew.
He saw the potential to exploit this market,
I see.
especially with the commission structure.
The commission.
He was making 50% on every penny stock he sold.
50%.
50%.
Wow, compared to less than 1% for the blue chip stocks?
Yeah, like less than 1% for the traditional stocks.
So the system itself was basically pushing him towards those penny stocks.
Pushing him, yeah.
Yeah.
And Belfort, he was charismatic,
Oh, yeah.
gift of gab,
Total smooth talker.
became a master of manipulation.
Oh, yeah.
These high-pressure sales tactics, preying on people's dreams of getting rich.
I can see that.
He convinced them these penny stocks were golden tickets.
Yeah.
But he knew the risks
All along.
all along.
Wow.
He has this line in the book. He describes stockbrokers as angels on the phone, devils after they hang up.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right.
It's perfect. Just
Sums up the moral flexibility of that world.
sums it up perfectly.
And Belfort, with his ambition, the lure of easy money,
Yeah.
it propelled him to the top.
Right to the top.
Didn't stay a small-time penny stock hustler for long.
No.
He built his own empire,
Wait, what was it called?
Stratton Oakmont,
Stratton Oakmont.
which became this legendary symbol of Wall Street excess.
Oh, yeah, I've heard the stories.
Stratton Oakmont wasn't just about making money.
It was about
It was about making a spectacle of it.
like a show.
A show,
Mm-hmm.
lavish parties, fueled by drugs,
Oh, yeah.
this culture of greed and indulgence.
That's the image that comes to mind.
Army of young, hungry brokers all vying for a piece of the pie.
Like a feeding frenzy.
A feeding frenzy.
Yeah.
At its peak, Stratton Oakmont was trading $1 billion worth of stock.
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
That's mind-blowing.
Mind-boggling.
It is. It is. To think about the scale of that.
Right. He went from selling Italian ice on the beach
Hey.
to orchestrating this massive financial machine.
Wow, what a jump.
And at the center of it all was Belfort,
The wolf
the
himself.
self-proclaimed Wolf of Wall Street,
Yeah,
living a life most people couldn't even fathom.
not even close.
But his success, it wasn't just luck or charisma.
No.
No, Belfort had a system,
Okay.
a philosophy
I'm intrigued.
that he believed made his rise inevitable.
Tell me more.
He had two core theories that justified his tactics.
2 theories, okay.
First, he believed that even the wealthiest individuals
Yeah.
are susceptible to the allure of a quick buck,
Interesting.
that they're gamblers at heart,
Gamble, huh?
always chasing that next big win.
Makes sense. Even the wealthy want more.
So in Belfort's mind,
Yeah.
everyone, no matter how rich,
Was a potential target.
was a potential mark.
I see, yeah.
And his second theory is even more intriguing.
Okay, lay it on me. Lay it on me.
He believed that anyone with the right training
Okay.
could become a master persuader.
A master persuader.
A sales machine capable of convincing people to buy practically anything.
So, like, anyone could be molded into a top salesperson.
Exactly. And that's what he created at Stratton Oakmont.
Like a system.
A system that turned ambitious, often
Yeah.
impressionable young people
Right.
into smooth-talking, high-pressure brokers.
Like a factory for salespeople.
A factory, fueled by the promise of wealth and Belfort's intoxicating personality.
And for a while it worked, right?
Oh, it
It's
worked.
like they were on top of the world.
Riding high, living the high life,
Untouchable.
seemingly untouchable.
But as we know, all good things must come to an end.
And for Belfort, that end came in the form of the FBI.
The feds?
The feds, their extravagant lifestyle, shady dealings.
Yeah.
It caught the attention of the authorities.
I mean, you can't exactly throw $1 million parties every other night
Right.
and fly helicopters around
And snort cocaine off someone's back.
and expect to stay under the radar.
Not for long.
No.
So the FBI started sniffing around, focusing on Stratton Oakmont's penny stock operation.
Right, but the initial investigation
At the SEC,
didn't take Belfort down.
it didn't bring him down.
Interesting, why not?
At that time, regulations were mainly focused on protecting smaller investors
More vulnerable ones.
from those penny stock scams.
Right, so.
Belfort's clients
Yeah.
were mostly wealthy individuals,
Who were considered
more sophisticated.
and less in need of protection.
So he basically got away with a slap on the wrist,
What, like a fine?
a $100,000 fine,
That's probably nothing to him at that point.
chump change.
Right.
And instead of seeing this as a wake-up call,
Yeah.
a chance to change his ways,
What do you do?
Belfort doubles down,
Really?
continues his reckless behavior.
Oh, no.
Parties get even wilder.
Oh, wow.
Drug use escalates,
It's like he was daring the FBI to catch him.
almost like he wanted to get caught.
But the FBI, they weren't giving up that easily.
Now,
They knew there was more to the story.
more to uncover.
Determined to find the full extent of his schemes.
Remember the Swiss bank account?
Oh, yeah, the Swiss bank account.
To hide his ill-gotten gains.
Classic move, trying to stash the money overseas.
Avoid taxes, avoid scrutiny.
But the FBI caught wind of it.
And that's when things started to unravel for Belfort.
Unravel, yeah.
The walls were closing in.
And that Wolf of Wall Street persona
That he'd so carefully crafted.
all started to crumble.
Crumble.
Yeah.
Faced with serious criminal charges.
Like what?
Securities fraud, money laundering,
He finally realized the depth of the trouble he was in.
the gravity of the situation.
It's fascinating, you know,
Yeah.
this moment of reckoning,
Yeah.
being stripped of his wealth and status.
It forced him to confront the consequences.
What did he do? Did he fight the charges?
Well, in a move that surprised many,
What did he do?
Belfort decided to cooperate with the FBI.
Cooperate. He turned informant.
He turned informant, providing information about his associates,
His employees, even his friends.
all to try to reduce his sentence.
Wow, that's a controversial move.
It was a controversial decision.
Seen as a betrayal by some.
By others.
A desperate act of self-preservation.
Imagine how those loyal to him felt.
Yeah, only to find out he flipped.
Singing like a canary to save his own skin.
It's a complex situation, no easy answers.
But ultimately, Belfort's cooperation led to numerous arrests and convictions.
And it did reduce his sentence.
Significantly. Instead of decades in prison,
Yeah.
he ended up serving 22 months.
Still, 22 months in federal prison.
That's got to change a person.
Absolutely. And this is where The Wolf of Wall Street takes an interesting turn.
Yeah.
It's during his time in prison
Okay.
that Belfort starts to reflect on his past.
His choices, the damage he caused.
Yeah.
He meets Tommy Chong,
The comedian.
who encourages him to write about his experiences.
Interesting, almost poetic.
Right.
The wolf, caged, stripped of his power,
Turns to storytelling as a way to process his past.
and maybe find some redemption.
And that's how The Wolf of Wall Street is born.
The book?
The book becomes a massive success,
A global bestseller.
solidifying Belfort's place in pop culture,
Not just as a cautionary tale,
but as a complex, fascinating figure.
embodying both the allure and the dangers of unbridled ambition.
And of course, the book was adapted into a blockbuster film
Starring
by Leonardo DiCaprio.
introducing Belfort's story to an even wider audience.
The film's success,
Yeah.
it's a testament to the enduring fascination with Belfort's tale,
People are drawn to these stories of excess and downfall.
maybe because they offer a glimpse into a world we can only imagine.
Or maybe because they tap into some primal desire for wealth and power.
But what about Belfort himself? What happens to him after prison?
Does he try to rebuild his fortune?
Does he seek redemption for his past?
That's where the story gets even more complicated.
Okay.
After his release, Belfort reinvents himself, a
Perhaps.
motivational speaker and business consultant.
Wait, hold on.
What?
The guy who built his empire on deception and manipulation? Yeah.
Is now giving lectures on ethics and success,
That's pretty ironic.
to say the least.
It is ironic, and it drew a lot of criticism.
People accused him of profiting from his past crimes,
Of not genuinely changing his ways.
using his notoriety to make even more money.
And there were questions about the financial restitution to his victims.
While he claimed to be donating a portion of his earnings,
There was skepticism about how much he was actually giving back.
and the sincerity of his efforts.
So it's a mixed bag.
It is.
On one hand,
Yeah.
you have this charismatic figure who seems to have learned from his mistakes.
And is trying to use his platform for good.
But on the other hand,
There's that lingering skepticism.
that maybe the wolf isn't entirely gone.
It's like he's trying to rewrite his narrative,
Yeah.
but the shadow of his past.
It continues to loom large.
And that's what makes Belfort's story so compelling.
It's not a simple morality tale.
With clear-cut heroes and villains,
It's complex. A nuanced portrait of a flawed individual.
operating within a flawed system. It forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about ambition and greed.
And the seductive nature of his success. It also makes you think about the victims.
The people whose lives were impacted by his schemes.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of the story.
The fast-paced world of Wall Street.
But it's important to remember the human cost of Belfort's actions.
It's easy to get lost in that world, you know.
And it's not just Wall Street, right?
Right.
I mean, Belfort's story, even though it's set in finance,
Yeah.
it feels so relevant today.
Wow, absolutely.
Think about the tech industry,
Yeah.
the entertainment world,
Right.
even politics.
It's everywhere.
Anywhere
Yeah.
where success is measured mainly by money,
Yeah.
there's that potential for ambition to turn into something.
Ruthless.
Yeah, something ruthless.
It's like Belfort's stories become this cautionary tale for our times.
Right.
A reminder that chasing the American dream,
Yeah.
if you take it too far,
Yeah.
can lead to, you know,
Ethical compromise.
yeah, and ultimately self-destruction.
And it's fascinating, right?
It is.
Maybe even a little disturbing
Yeah.
that Belfort's story still resonates with people.
Yeah, the book, the movie, they were huge hits.
Not just entertainment,
Mhm.
but like cultural touchstones.
Right, like people are drawn to these tales of excess and downfall.
What is it about these stories that we find so captivating?
I think maybe it's that glimpse into a world we don't have access to.
Right.
Fast money,
Yeah.
lavish parties,
Yeah.
disregard for the rules.
It's like we're both repulsed and fascinated by his behavior.
I know what you mean.
We condemn his actions.
Yeah.
But we also kind of admire his audacity.
His drive.
That sheer force of will.
Exactly.
And that's what makes The Wolf of Wall Street such a powerful story.
Powerful and enduring.
It's a reminder that the pursuit of success,
Yeah.
no matter how noble the intentions,
Right.
can be corrupted by greed and ambition.
Absolutely. It makes you look inward and ask yourself,
Yeah.
what am I willing to sacrifice for my goals? What lines am I willing to cross?
And what are the consequences of those choices?
Big questions.
Big question. So as we wrap up our deep dive into The Wolf of Wall Street,
Yeah.
I'm curious, what's your biggest takeaway from Belfort's story?
For me, I think it's that success isn't just about reaching the top.
Right.
It's about how you get there.
Yeah.
Belfort, he achieved wealth and fame most people only dream of.
Yeah.
But at what cost?
Exactly.
His story really highlights how important ethical boundaries are
Having a moral compass.
to guide your ambition.
I couldn't agree more. It's easy to get caught up in wanting more.
More money, more power.
More status.
But Belfort's story,
Yeah.
it reminds us that true success is about finding a balance.
Balance between ambition and integrity.
It leaves us with some important questions.
Yeah.
Where do we draw the line?
Between ambition and greed.
Yeah, and how much responsibility do we have when the system itself
Right.
might be encouraging unethical behavior?
Those are questions we all face.
Regardless of what we do or where we come
Yeah.
from.
Belfort's story might be in the world of finance.
But those themes, ambition, temptation, the price of success,
They're universal.
it's a story that stays with you.
Long after you've finished the book or the movie.
It's a reminder that our choices have consequences.
Not just for ourselves, but for everyone around us.
Well said.
I think that's a great place to leave it.
Yeah,
The Wolf of Wall Street is a cautionary tale,
it is.
but it also forces us to look at ourselves
Examine our values, our ambitions.
and remember that success, however we define it.
Shouldn't come at the expense of our integrity.
Couldn't have said it better myself.